Your Majesty, while you were visiting the High Priest's home, you didn't see Mrs. Inmee at all, did you?
No, I never saw her, but what does that have to do with anything?
He knew something only the killer could have known because there are literal mediums who communicate with the dead. Did the High Priest ever leave your sight?
No, we were talking the entire time, and the food was brought right to the room's entryway.
So the High Priest has an ironclad alibi, but his wife does not. What the devil are you insinuating? I'm insinuating that Mrs. Inmee may have killed Acolyte Zeh'lot.
Objection!
You have a lot of nerve making such a baseless allegation. She had no motive to kill Acolyte Zeh'lot. He was like family to her. No, we can't entirely discount the idea. Especially if you consider that Mrs. Inmee could have been the one posing as Lady Kee'ra. Even a fool must temper his foolishness at times. Or do you truly believe Lady Kee'ra would kill Acolyte Zeh'lot, though he was not a rebel?
Objection!
Whoever killed him didn't necessarily know who it was. They just knew that somebody was there. As we all know, the High Priest was secretly a rebel. It would follow that his favorite disciple could very well be a rebel too.
Are you suggesting that Mrs. Inmee killed her husband as well?
As sad as it is to think she'd kill her own husband to rid the kingdom of rebels, I don't think we can rule it out. Oh, no. Please, no. We did already have the... Her maiden name was... Believe I killed him? Irk! Yikes. You claim my wife is that rebel-hunting Lady Kee'ra? And that she slew both Zeh'lot and myself? My lovely wife? That is utterly impossible. Irk! Yikes.
I've never seen the High Priest so angry.
It is as Abbot Inmee stated. And the accused has already been found guilty of his murder. Ah, stop game. It is far too late to overturn it.
That's right, Mr. Wright. Now apologize to the good priest before he gets angry again. Quickly now.
No, I'm not going to apologize. The true identity of Lady Kee'ra is a major piece to this trial's puzzle. Admit it, Abbot Inmee. Your wife, Lady Inmee, killed you. Yet even now you continue to lie in an effort to protect her. How absurd. It appears the lawyer has forgotten. My lovely wife could not possibly battle the rebels in the guise of Lady Kee'ra. For we were blessed by her holiness, and she is with child. Praise be to the Holy Mother. Ack! I completely forgot about that. I actually did forget about that. That abominable Lady Kee'ra figure who slew me and Acolyte Zeh'lot was the accused. This is bad, but I can't give up now. Don't forget, my client doesn't have the strength to fight rebels either. How could a weak young woman like her possibly... You foolish oaf of a lawyer. If only you were as blessed as Lady Inmee. What? Surely the accused possesses the strength, or should I say, the power. The power to battle those black-hearted rebels. What are you talking about? My good prosecutor, I see you have come to the same conclusion as I. Such keen insight. Then you have figured it out as well, Abbot Inmee? May I ask you to explain it to this putrid-brained lawyer? Pregnant woman can't murder or cause disorders in the baby. Certainly, for I cannot allow him to frame my lovely wife for murder. Foreign devil! Your Majesty, allow me to testify as to how Maya Fey is that murderous Lady Kee'ra. Well, if it would assuage your anger, then by all means, please testify. Okay, so he's gonna say she channeled Lady Kee'ra, and we're gonna go, nope, she didn't know Lady Kee'ra's real name, but she does, or somebody does. Who had these? Who had the thing that says her real name? Oh, I guess she did. She did have this. She had been reading this. You need to read this in order to do the right. Acolyte Faye channeled Lady Kee'ra's spirit. She is a spirit medium who knows Lady Kee'ra's true name, so she could have done it. So it was the real Lady Kee'ra who returned to root out the rebels among us. She attacked and killed me with the strength far beyond any mortal woman. But do you understand now? Murder by spirit channeling explains everything. It is the only way the accused could have defeated one rebel after another. But when you spirit channel someone, your fingerprints probably change. Who knows? Right? Right? It could happen. This is the only way that the accused could have defeated one rebel after another. Indeed, I am a living, or shall I say dead, proof of her terrible power. Ugh! Maya's ability to channel spirits, it's come back to haunt her. But now, is it not time to let go and move on, Defense? No, never. I'll never give up. Now what? Think. How can I prove that Maya couldn't have channeled Lady Kee'ra? Now I'm going to be upset if it's not the fingerprints thing, because that's a good answer. It's a good answer that I thought of immediately. Let's press on this. While it's true she may be capable of channeling Lady Kee'ra, I doubt there's any proof she actually did. We are talking about the infamous rebel hunter here. That modern-day Lady Kee'ra has captured many a rebel all by herself, and among them have been more than a few great warriors. Who but the real Lady Kee'ra could have accomplished such a feat? It would be difficult for a mere mortal. That leaves the real Lady Kee'ra of legend as the only likely answer. Indeed. Is this not proof enough that the real Lady Kee'ra of legend had been channeled? The real Lady Kee'ra of legend. That's an oxymoron if I ever heard one. the real Lady Kee'ra of legend. Then again, the people of Puh'ray believe legends to be true. Getting a little Final Fantasy XIV up in here. The primals.
Hold it!
Lady Kee'ra is an actual person? Do you really believe there ever was a woman that powerful? One capable of battling rebels much bigger and stronger than herself? There is no way to prove that. But to doubt the existence of Lady Kee'ra is to doubt Puh'rayism itself. It is not for us to question. We must simply believe. Yeah, how dare you doubt our legends? You'll regret saying that, you Polkunkan. Lady Kee'ra's gonna strike you down. Ope. I won't get anywhere until I can refute their claims with some evidence.
Hold it!
A strength far beyond any mortal woman. And just how strong would that be? You need but look at the wound she inflicted upon my body. Though I had hoped to never have to think about that again. Your wound? It was pretty deep. It was a tremendous amount of blood. And while Acolyte Zeh'lot was rather small in stature, he was strong. Yeah, how many crystals if we want to channel Lady Kee'ra? Nevertheless, he was no match for the sheer strength of Lady Kee'ra. Maya's spirit channeling is proof that she's Lady Kee'ra? This is not good. I'll have to prove she didn't channel the original Lady Kee'ra. Okay, that's where we're going? Prove that she didn't.
Hold it!
My client channeled Lady Kee'ra. Isn't that a little far-fetched? Far-fetched, you say? Why, the very fact that I am here proves she has the power to channel spirits. Arg. But you've no proof she actually channeled Lady Kee'ra. Oh, but I do. Alright, so we pressed on everything now. This statement about the water already being read, I don't think that's come into play yet. We're going to use that soon enough. This doesn't say anything about fingerprints in the item description, so it's not going to be the fingerprints. And Phoenix at the end says, what? We're going to solve this by doing what? I'll have to prove she didn't channel the original Lady Kee'ra. Is there... Oh, she didn't have the book yet. That's what it is. She didn't... This was given to her when she went to play with. She couldn't have channeled Lady Kee'ra until she got the Tome of Secrets.
Objection!
That's what it is. The Tome of Secrets is only given to the priestess who performs a purification rite. Is this your proof that my client could have channeled Lady Kee'ra? Yes, indeed. For it contains the true name of Lady Kee'ra, a secret only revealed within. Abbot Enme, I'm afraid you're mistaken. This couldn't have been used to channel Lady Kee'ra. What nonsense?
Mr. Wright, would you care to explain?
Uh-oh. I thought it was because she didn't have this until the day of the rite. What is the actual answer? Maya doesn't know how to read.
Take that!
Look right here and you'll see why she... Nope. Nope, that wasn't it. Alright, so it's not the knife. Oh, hi, Jesse Highwind. Also, please, absolutely no hints or anything like that. But welcome to the stream. I know the answer's here somewhere. I just need... so he was going to hint towards me anyway. I just need to remember the requirements for spirit channeling. Seems there can be no doubt that the accused channeled Lady Kee'ra. No, she couldn't have. Because... there's like nothing else in this picture. Is it I don't even remember if this right here is what her name is, or... Surely we'll find the answer if we fold it. It's like one of those Mad Magazine fold-over things. Because Lady Kee'ra is still alive, that's why. Freaking... There's nothing in this picture except for the knife. And the name? It's not gonna be the name. Maybe it is. I don't know.
Take that!
No. Mr. Gamers, welcome back. It's they've stumped me. The face thing is the same, the robe thing is the same. Can I look at the other side of this piece of paper? Freaking... What are you even talking about? There's nothing here. This couldn't have been used to channel Lady Kee'ra. Is there something here that's inaccurate? Oh, do you need to know their face? Is that the deal? Oh. Ah. Alright, Was that... Has that always been... I mean, I guess they did mention it at some point, right? Back when we were comparing it to Death Note. No, they said... Has that always been the rule in Phoenix Wright games? Have you always needed to see their... I guess. Well, I knew it was Death Note rules for what's her name? For doing the seance. I'm trying to... How did it work for, like, case... Yeah, I guess you're right. Like, when Pearl did it in the third game, her mother sent her a picture, right? Did she, actually? I suppose it's always been... I guess it's always been true. The only Phoenix Wright you ever played is Project X Zone. Hidden behind a mask in a tome of secrets, you need both a name and a face to channel a spirit. It can't be. Without a face, it would have been impossible for my client to channel Lady Kee'ra. Oh, please, Serp. Therefore, the claim that she became Lady Kee'ra by means of spirit channeling is patently false. Gah. And with Lady Kee'ra out of the equation, my client had no motive to commit murder. But then, who is the rebel-hunting Lady Kee'ra we've been reading about in the paper? Yes, who is this other suspect, if indeed there is one at all? Let us hear the defense's brilliant deduction. Think. The true identity of Lady Kee'ra is the key to solving both of the murders. I thought Mrs. Inmee was suspicious, but her pregnancy takes her out of the running, I guess. And Mr. Arbol is a rebel, so that doesn't make sense. That leaves us with the Queen. Mr. Wright, you have that look again. The one where you know you have to say something, but you can't figure out what it is. This is my chance to really turn up the heat. I'll just have to stir the pot till something floats to the top. Your Majesty, I know who's been posing as the rebel-hunting Lady Kee'ra. You do? Are you sure about that? Yes, completely. I'll just indict the queen of your nation. That won't get me executed. I sense I may regret this, but please, go on and explain. Thank you, Your Majesty. This is who's been posing as the rebel-hunting Lady Kee'ra. Oh, it's not an option. I thought it was gonna be the queen. Darn. Alright, well, there's that one out of the... Okay. Oops. He said it's not her. Even though it could be. Alright, so we're going not Mrs. Inmee, not Mr. Arbol. It was a 9-year-old, that's who. I guess it's gonna be him. But then he died, though. It's not Rafa, she's a moron. I don't know how... I don't think that's the case. Alright.
Take that!
Take that. The true identity of the rebel hunting Lady Kee'ra we seek is Puh'ray Zeh'lot.
What's this? The High Priest's murdered disciple was Lady Kee'ra, you say?
So that doesn't... That now makes it more confusing. How did Trust in Me die?
Peace, I say peace.
The defense will continue. Accuse Maya. Yes, Your Majesty. I whittled down the list of suspects until there was only one left.
Objection.
But the process of elimination is not the same as solid evidence. I assume you have evidence to back up your claim? Yes, of course. I will have some in a moment. At least I hope so. Maya wasn't Lady Kee'ra, and neither was Mrs. Inme or any of the other possibilities. That leaves Zeh'lot, and I have the evidence to prove it. The evidence that proves the Acolyte Zeh'lot was posing as Lady Kee'ra is this. We don't have shit. What is the secret that I have to wait on this screen for 3 minutes and then the bailiff's gonna charge in and go, oh, I got that video, I got that cassette tape. I got the recording from his desk. Saved by the buzzer. I'll just sit on this screen until the bailiff gets here. That's my new plan. Is it gonna be the strap? I don't have any idea. Oh, man. Then Ethan died of starvation on the present evidence screen. A what? I don't know if that's a reference to... Oh, wait. Was that... No, I don't know what that's a reference to. This is what winning looks like. I'm more of a winner every pass. Okay, I thought it was my cousin Vinny, but for some reason I was like, no, I don't remember. I remember the car, but I couldn't think of, I don't know why I said to myself like, no, it wasn't green. The car wasn't green, but I guess it was. What in the hell proves that Acolyte Zeh'lot was posing as Lady Kee'ra? Well, just look at that face. Oh, maybe? Maybe this is it. Yep.
Take that!
There we go. I watched him do, but they didn't show the car, did they? They might have showed the car. This is what proves that Acolyte Zeh'lot was Lady Kee'ra. Lady Kee'ra's warning letter. How absurd. What could that possibly prove? Prosecutor Sadmati, you stated that this warning letter proved that my client was Lady Kee'ra, and the reason you gave was that the High Priest's house was locked tight. But there was another member of the family who lived there. Ah. Therefore, Acolyte Zeh'lot could have delivered the warning any time he wanted. What is he talking about? That's just not possible. Are you saying Lady Kee'ra was not the culprit, but rather the victim? That's exactly what I'm saying.
But that would gyakten the entire Saibon.
It's the name of the game.
This trial has proceeded on the assumption Lady Kee'ra was behind the serial killings. But if Lady Kee'ra is one of the victims, then who was the killer, and what was their motive?
The only suspect left is Mrs. Inme, and there's only one possible motive. What if Mrs. Inme is a rebel?
What?
Fiend, you're still bent on casting suspicion upon my lovely wife? Blasphemer! You have no evidence of this. Repent for the mistrust in your soul. Well, you have no evidence either. Phoenix, when has that ever stopped a prosecutor? Don't be ridiculous. After all, the dagger with my client's prints on it wasn't what killed Acolyte Zeh'lot. And the plumed Punisher theme that he heard could have been an alarm clock. That means all of the evidence linking her to the crime have been called into question.
Was Lady Inme a rebel, and did she pose as Lady Kee'ra to kill Acolyte Zeh'lot? Or was Acolyte Zeh'lot a rebel, and was the accused the Lady Kee'ra who killed him?
Oops, I accidentally resized that a tiny bit.
I would say either scenario is just as likely. What are we to do now?
The alarm clock, you say? Do you mean the one in the rebel hideout?
Yes, but what of it?
Ah, I took the batteries out. I took the batteries out for one day during the murder, right? It's gotten into him.
Abbot Inme, just what is so comical?
Nice one, sir. Forgive my outburst. That has simply tickled my funny bone. What did? The theme song came from the plumed Punisher clock, you say? That alarm could not possibly have gone off. What makes you say that? The clock was working just fine the last time I checked. Try using your head for a change. Would not the existence of a secret hideout be given away if an alarm clock got going off like I said? Like I said. Wait, you don't mean... Indeed, we leave the alarm switched off at all times. No!
In that case,
I am sad to say that the defense's claim does not hold water.
Would you care to respond, Mr. Wright?
Oh, this can't be happening. Not now. This should put an end to the lawyer's futile struggles. The theme song the victim heard was from the accused's strap, just as we suspected. Therefore, the accused is the rebel-hunting Lady Kee'ra, and the victim's killer. I need an opening. Something I can raise an objection to. That plumed Punisher theme song Acolyte Zeh'lot heard in his final moments. Oh, but it wasn't the plumed Punisher song. It was the Steel Samurai song that sounds just like it, that was coming from his wife's watch. See, you guys like to act like I don't know what's going on. Like I'm some kind of dummy. I got this whole trial figured out. I, too, heard it by way of the listening device. But did you really? If you had heard it, why didn't you testify to the fact before, which I noted Is it not obvious? I did not know such a tune could become a key matter of dispute.
Yes, the matter of the theme song came up before Abbot Inmi was channeled.
Oh, right. Well then, what if he's lying about the clock's alarm being switched off? Miserable wretch. That would be a pointless lie, one easily disproven. If you check the clock, you will see that the alarm is, in fact, switched off.
Arg, come to think of it.
What a fine item. And this switch, if I'm right. We set the switch back into the off position before we left. I remember hearing it clearly. Those distinctive taiko drums in the intro are etched into my mind. They went... Dun 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 dun. Distinctive taiko drums in the intro.
This trial has gone on far too long. Shall we move ahead to the verdict phase now?
By all means, and also let us return Abbot Inmi's spirit to the Twilight Realm. Before I go, let me say a word to my darling wife. Now hold on just 1 minute. Your Majesty.
Yes?
The High Priest's statement is inconsistent with a certain piece of evidence.
It is?
Still you writhe in defiance of your fate? The very sight reminds me of a tortured soul, writhing in flames.
Akane.
You won't be saying that once I show you the evidence. Now all I have to do is pick the right one. This piece of evidence is inconsistent with that statement about the taiko drum intro. It is right here. Traditional Chinese instruments at the beginning.
Take that!
This is what's inconsistent with his statement. My client's plumed Punisher strap. What does that have to do with anything? It plays the Plumed Punisher theme song, and here it is, the theme to the Plumed Punisher, Warrior of Neo-Twilight Realm. You see what I mean? The music the victim heard in his final moments might not have been the Plumed Punisher theme song.
I'm afraid I'm not following you. What was it, if not the Plumed Punisher theme?
In his final moments, Acolyte Zeh'lot heard the prayers of the people. Steel Samurai theme. There are no taiko drums in the intro of the Plumed Punisher theme. So what Acolyte Zeh'lot actually heard in his final moments was... Don't mess up the sound right at the most important point. Fix it. Hang on. I do hate this emulator sometimes. Right at the most important point. Should freaking stop. Hang on. That was the wrong one. Did... I seriously just did... Oh my god. I loaded the wrong save. And it's like, oh, no problem. Oh, I meant this save, so I just saved over it. Alright, well, that's a waste of a Thursday stream. Who was it that said, hey, we're streaming on Thursday? Oh, just kidding. Just kidding. Entire Thursday stream wasted. I just saved. Yeah. Game. Why? If I... No. Oh, God. Yeah, miss stream stuff. At least, I mean, at least it's not like worst... Oh, and it's... Okay, it still lets me fast forward, so maybe this won't be the absolute worst thing ever, but it still is pretty awful. You remember there was the... Yeah, the fact that it knows that I've seen this means that I can fast forward through it, and I guess I already know the answers to everything, so... Because remember, there was the time this happened with Ace Attorney Investigations Edgeworth, where it was with an emulator that had save states, and I accidentally loaded a save state from case 1, so I actually lost completely the entire game. When we were on, like, we were this far into it. We were in, like, the end of Chapter 3. Oh, God. All because of the dang sound. Super-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo. And I guess I'll just cut this out of the YouTube. When in 2022, when I upload this to YouTube, I'll make sure that I cut this section out. What a like I've seen people do stuff like that by accident before. Usually it has to do with emulator save states, right? If you have, because I am emulating this, but it's I'm not using any kind of save state. It's just acting exactly like I was playing it on Android. What was I gonna say? Usually what'll happen is if you have someone who's playing a game on emulator and they're using the regular saved games and the save states, as soon as you load a saved state, it, as far as I'm aware, it also immediately overwrites the saved games with what saved games you had at that time. So as soon as you hit load, it's one button press that, boom, okay, your progress is gone. At least with the Super Nintendo emulator. There might be other ones that are... Or no, the same thing happened with me on the DS emulator. Exactly, yeah. Harg.
Objection.
When you're saving, you should save into every slot. Maybe I'll...
Objection.
Usually... Well, it wouldn't have helped in this case, but that's why I usually, like, if they give you multiple save slots, I rotate through them. But even that doesn't... Yeah, saving more often is the better solution. Yeah, staggering saves is good. Although staggering saves doesn't help you against the, Oh, yeah, that happened to you too, Blind. Final Fantasy V. Went to load a save state, and it went whole game erased. With a single button press. Which is why I'm pretty sure ever since that happened with, the Ace Attorney investigations, I'm pretty much... Unless I have a very strong reason to do so, I just don't use save states at all.
Hold it!
Make a decision, save the game. Make a decision, save the game. And then you turn the page, and then you wash your hands. Simpsons.
Hold it!
Will we still be able to finish this case today? After making such a stank. Like, even aside from the screwing over, I've talked before about what a ridiculous purist I am in terms of, like, if I'm gonna play a game, I want to experience it the way that it was, you know. You do kind of get a... Even if it's a game where the saves, you have, like, RPGs where they go, yeah, you can't save until you get to a save point. Or you get Resident Evil and it's like, oh, yeah, you can't save until you find a typewriter and use up an ink ribbon. And while you can say, like, oh, the game would be more fun if you could save anywhere, or it would be more convenient if you could save anywhere, it would be a better experience. I mean, it's maybe a poor defense, but I still think that it's important to acknowledge that the whole experience is changed if that happens. That you have a less authentic experience. And it may be one that's more tailored towards you and your, of course there is. And maybe the game is more tailored towards you and your preferences and your everything. It's just a better game to you, but I don't... Kryptonet used to default to left bumper to restart run. And I took that out because it was just too easy to accidentally... Yeah, if you hotkey, that's just as bad. If you hotkey save state and you go, oh, I overwrote my my slot that I've been saving to with a completely unwinnable state, like I'm in the process of falling into a pit. Oh yeah, absolutely. Like I totally get that there are, no doubt, there are games that when they were making them, if they had the ability to let you save anywhere, they would have. And yet, to me, that doesn't change the fact that there's still some worth to getting the authentic experience. To say, this is what it is like to play this game. And if you remove the save restriction, that you're changing what it is like to play that game.
Hold it!
Like Ninja Gaiden, right? Where the people talked about Ninja Gaiden a lot while I was playing The Messenger. Add it, sure. People talked about Ninja Gaiden a lot while I was playing The Messenger. Would Ninja Gaiden have had the same legacy that it did if there was just a button that let you rewind 5 seconds? Like, they didn't have the technology to do that, but if they had, it would have been a wholly unremarkable game, because you would have beaten it in one sitting. You would have beaten it in an afternoon. The part of the experience of that game is that, oh, the death penalty means you start the level over, and running out of lives means you start the whole game over. The controls were all arrow keys and multiple arrows at the same time. Because you might be using... Yeah, there is that DDR mode.
Hold it!
I'm pretty sure when I was playing it, I also still did that. Like, even though you could map down left and up right to different things, that I was like, yeah, I'll hit those buttons instead of assigning them to controller buttons. The programming error that sent you super far back if you died in the final level. I've never actually, clearly, I've never gotten to the last level of Ninja Gaiden. That's ridiculous.
Hold it!
Have him at it.
Hold it! Objection!
Yeah, so that kind of brings up an interesting thing. Like, what if... Does fixing a bug... Like, if the bug wasn't...
Objection!
If the bug obviously wasn't meant to be part of the game, then are you getting the more authentic experience if you play a version where the bug is fixed? The answer is, yeah, kind of a little bit. That's kind of justified, even though it goes against what I was saying. Zeh'lot's killer is you.
Take that!
Take it.
Objection!
Alright, so we're getting caught back up. It's not the end of the world. It's definitely not as bad as the Miles Edgeworth one, where I did have to play through the whole game again. And couldn't even... I didn't have, like, fast-forward options like I do here. Had to play through the whole game again off-stream to get back to where we were. It would have been nice if the fast forwarding was a little bit faster. Like if they didn't play all the animation. They're like, if you're holding the fast forward button, it's because you don't want to see it again. so just actually skip it. Like if you play a visual novel and you put skip on and you're like, yeah, I want to be able to skip stuff. You hold the whatever button, and they're like, we'll get you through it fast. Like, we gotta get you to your favorite part. I'm not pushing the faster forward button. Now what? Oops. Present.
Objection!
Yeah, the fastest forwardest button. Close the buttons. Open. It's the button that opens YouTube to someone else's video of the end credits.
Take that!
Dun, 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 dun.
Take that!
Peace, I say peace. Oh, who else was... I was watching someone play... Oh, no, what was this? What proves it? I don't remember. Oh, it was this.
Take that!
I was watching someone play Danganronpa, and he had the text set to auto advance, and he had just got something wrong and like lost his last life or whatever, and was like, oh, he's like, all right, well, I'm gonna. He's like, I gotta go to the bathroom real quick, or I have to get a drink or something. He got up from the computer, and it auto advanced to where it says, "Do you want to continue?" And there's a time limit on the yes or no answer for that, and it defaults to no. And so the chat is just there, like, oh my god, come back, come back, come back. And he didn't come back in time, and it defaulted to no, and he came back and he was on the title screen, and he hadn't saved at all during the trial. And Danganronpa trials are like this, where they're pretty long. A joke mode that they called easy mode. You complete the story in like 5 minutes. Yep, yeah, there's a time limit on the continue screen. And it defaults to no. Which, if you think about it, is kind of silly. There's no... If you're on that screen, you either do want to continue or you don't, and it's not a difficult decision to make. Would have had, like, yeah, action. No, wait, was that Time Crisis? Yeah, it was.
Objection!
Maybe that's what I should stream next. Fire up MAME, get a light gun, and play Time Crisis. There was Time Crisis and Crisis Zone. Crisis Zone was the one where you had a machine gun. Taiko drums were just about there.
Take that!
So we're going to save now. This is what saving looks like. Good. Save in other slot as well. They make light guns? Probably not. Ninja Assault, I am not familiar with.